everyone, it's Bees. Now, next Tuesday in America, October 25th, the pre-patch is hitting for Dragonflight, which is going to bring in the big UI revamp to World of Warcraft, which is pretty huge for healers. The revamp actually, well, it helps everyone, but healers can get a big advantage from it. So when you log in, this is what the UI is going to look like now. And you can see this is pretty different than what the UI looks like on the live game right now. Your player frame is down here, and your target frame is now over here on the right. Those things used to be up in the upper left-hand corner, but that's kind of a disadvantage to have them in the upper left-hand corner because what if you need to go look at your health in the middle of an encounter? You got to look all the way up in the left corner. Now, this is more for DPS and tanks because they probably won't have their healing groups set up right next to their character, and the healers will. But if you're DPS and you're like, I wonder if I'm low on health, let me look away from my character and look in the upper left-hand corner. It's not good. So they stuck it down more near the player so your eye doesn't have to move that much further away. But what if you don't like that? Well, that's alright. You can go in this edit mode and just switch back into the classic preset. And alright, you don't have to be afraid of change. Your target and your player frame are back in the upper left hand corner. But if you look at this UI edit mode, you can move everything around the way you want. So let's go back to the modern preset. And what if you're like, I don't want the player frame here. I want it right up here next to my character so I don't have to look that far away. And I want to do the same with the target frame and throw it right up here. Well, you have the power to. Hey, I don't want this talking head to appear right in the middle of my screen. Let's move it in the upper left-hand corner. I don't want the chat over here. I want it way up here for some reason because I'm weird. And I want to put the mini-map down there. You have the power now. It is all built into the base UI. You can just even put your action bars way up here if you like. They're giving you the power to move all this stuff around, where it was pretty rigid before. You had to use add-ons like Move Everything or Bartender to mess with your UI. And when you click on certain things, like your action bars, you can have some stuff will have even more options. So in action bars, you can change the size and the row. You can even make the bars, where is it? Oh, you can make them vertical if you want. They're giving you a whole lot of power to do things. You can even hide the little bar art. You can hide the little scroll button so you don't accidentally click it somewhere in the middle. You can even move around, where is it? Buff frames. I can put the buff frames right in the middle of the screen if I want. You can make your own UI. And if you're not creative, you can also just get a preset. So let me just load up the one I normally use that I've come to love on beta. And then you can also share it too. I can share this UI, copy it to clipboard, and then someone else can come in and import it, and then paste that code in, and boom, you'll have that same UI. So you can share your UI with guildmates or just people online. It is very, very robust what you can do. They've also changed around just the normal option menu. This looks completely different. Controls, they've added a whole bunch of new stuff, lock cursor and window, but I'm not going to go over everything. I'm just going to kind of point out stuff that healers would want to take. There's also a search bar in the upper right, so now that everything's changed and you're like, I don't know where something is, where the hell do I go to add more action bars? You can just type in action, and look, here's action bar, so let's turn on bar 2, bar 3, and you can even go nuts and get even more bars. And like I said, you can go back into that edit mode and move the bars around, resize them, put them where you want. It is very, very robust now. But let's go back into edit mode. And you can easily set up keybinds on your bars now. So if I click this bar, there's this quick keybind mode. I can click it and go, hey, the game goes, hey, there's no button bound here. Just press a button and I'll bind it there for you. So I can just put Z here, X here. You can throw in mouse buttons, middle mouse button, mouse button 4, mouse button 5. You can even hold down the shift button and have shift mouse button 4, shift mouse button 5, shift middle mouse button. You can start throwing letters in them. If there's already a what am I trying to say? If that letter or button's already bind to something else, I think it will ask you, hey, do you want to change that? Or it might just go over it right away. You can even, this is something I'm learning on the fly. Even the extra action button, you can bind a button to it. Instead of trying to click it in the middle of an encounter, I can just say, like, let's put G on there. And then it will even tell you, hey, I bound G to that extra action button, but that has unbounded it from action assist target is now unbound. But you can just go nuts. I can do something like the F button, Shift F, R, Shift R. And it is really easy now to set up your keybinds. Just slap them on there. Super easy. One thing that is going to be very important for healers is this party frame. This is what the default party frame looks like. It's way over to the left, and no healer wants that. It's way to the left. You're looking at all the action here, but then you got to go and look all the way to the left to see everyone's health. And it's set up. So let's move it away from the left and move it a little closer to our character so we don't have to take our eye off the character. But it's set up now that kind of like your player frame. It shows a picture of your character and the health bar is small. Healer doesn't want to see the picture of the characters. So just click this use raid style party frames and it changes it to a box, and that box will go fill up and fill down as the health bar goes up and down. But it's still pretty small. So my suggestion is crank it all the way up, the size. Bam, there we go. There's some nice looking party frames now. And of course, if I go into a raid and it starts adding a group 2 and a group 3, this will just grow. And you can adjust the size if that's too big for raids. And like I said, then you can make a raid loadout UI. And you can also turn on things like display a border. You can even do something crazy, but like, where is it? Oh, use horizontal layout. A lot of healers now like to throw their unit, or at least if they're in a 5-man group, they throw their party frames down here so it's not blocking the left side or the right side of their screen. Like I said, up to you. You can set it however you want. I am an old school. You keep the party frames on the left of your character. I think the new hotness is to use these horizontal layouts and throw it down here so it doesn't block your view. But it's up to you. You can use whatever feels nice to you. Alright. So, another nice thing they have added. So right now, if I want to cast this heal spell, I have to click on myself and press the one button, and boom, it casts Renew on me. But if you don't know this, most healers do know this. There's this thing called mouseover macros you can make. And it's a whole thing where you have to open up the macro menu. You have to make a mouseover. You can already see I had a bunch made here. But there's now something in the UI that you can just turn on easily, just called mouseover. Where is it? Mouseover cast. I turn this on. As you can see, I am not targeting myself. I can just mouse over myself and press the one button, and it casts Renew on me. I have Prayer Mending bound to 2. I can just mouse over the party frame, and boom, it casts it. I no longer have to spend that extra second clicking on myself. So if you're a new healer and you didn't know about mouseovers, they are your new friend. And this even works on just hovering your mouse over the player character themselves. There's this dude sitting here. Oh, thank you, buddy. There's this dude sitting here in Orgrimmar. I can just mouse over him, press 2, boom, prayer of mending on him. And that also works in your party frame that's up here. A lot of new healers don't know that. Before, you had to go through and make your own macros, which was another step on top of it to make your life easier. And now they just built it into the base UI. But one limitation about the base UI, and if you remember, these are mouse buttons. This is mouse button 4, mouse button 5. And sure, if I mouse over a player in the world, they work. Mouse button 4, cast renew on them. Cast renew on this guy. I cast a prayer of mending on this guy. It also works if you just had them targeted. So now I have myself targeted. Let's target this guy. I'm not mousing over him. But if I hit button 5, I think it worked. No, something went wrong. Oh, I'm casting renew on him. I wanted prayer of mending. Alright. Sorry, hitting the wrong keybind. But like I said, if you mouse over him, it works. If you target him, it's still cast on him. But if I mouse over either my player frame or the party frame and try to use these heal spells, it has to be heal spells specifically, and try to mouse over and do it in the party frame or my player character, it doesn't work. I'm hitting mouse button 4, not casting renew, hitting mouse button 5, it's not casting prayer mending. And I don't know why. That's some weird thing in Blizzard's base UI. And it's probably some old legacy code thing that you can't mouse over either your player unit or the party frame and cast a healing spell. Which kind of sucks, because it locks out all those keybinds on your mouse button from being heal spells. But Blizzard did add an option called click casting. It's under, right now, come October 25th, it's under keybinds. It's actually in the game now. They added it very late in Shadowlands 9.2 or 9.25. So this is actually in the game now. But a lot of healers don't know they stuck it in there. Click casting. So you can see now it shows the left button target someone. And then the right button opens up that little menu. Everyone's used to that. But as a healer, we might want the left mouse button and the right mouse button to do something else. So what if I wanted renew the cast on the left mouse button? So if I wanted renew to be on the left mouse button, I say, hey, I'm making a new custom mouse over binding. I want renew, and now it's asking for what mouse over button I want. And I literally just click the left button. And look, it took left mouse button press away from targeting, and now it's renew. So I hit save, and now all I got to do is left mouse button click on myself, and I cast renew. And that's awesome, because now I can just use buttons on my mouse as healing spells. So let's go back into that. Click casting. Prayer mending, and I want it, and this is what I do on all my priests. I like prayer mending on mouse button 4. I always like to put on whatever healer I am on right click. I like to put the AoE healing spell. You can even do stuff like make a new binding. I want power infusion to be the middle mouse button. Like I said, you could just keep adding bindings. Hey, I want power word shield to be right button now. But you're asking yourself, hey, Spees, I kind of still want these two to have, be bound to my mouse somewhere. My suggestion is hold down Alt and make it Alt left button, Alt right button. And now I can target with Alt left and Alt right click and open the menu. And you can even add stuff like in all my healers. Where is it? Purify. I always make Purify or the magic dispel be shift, left click. Boom. Shift, left click. So you can even start throwing in shift modifiers and alt modifiers in here. So that's even more keybinds to use. So I try to make a lot of heal spells on the mouse button just to free up, the keyboard keybind for both DPS and other healing spells and utility spells. This just opens up a whole new world of keybind for you. Oh, it's saying I haven't saved. So that is one downside to being a healer. Not only do you have to keybind all your healing spells, you still should keybind all your DPS spells and all your utility spells, and you start running out of keybinds really quick. Using this click casting that opens up putting some heal spells on your mouse so you can then open up some keybind spots on your keyboard. So that's another little secret in the new UI. I thank everyone for watching this video. If I have missed something big that you think other healers should know about the new UI, please throw it down in the comments. It might be something I missed. This is just me playing around in the beta for the last couple months, and there just might be some big flashing thing that's like, hey, Speeds, turn this option on for healers. It really helps. So if you know something that I don't know, please throw it down in the comments. But I thank everyone for watching. See you all in Dragonflight.